Welcome to Exponential Finance, where we connect AI, cryptocurrencies, and markets to help you understand what matters and how to act each week. Today, we present a very interesting analysis of Bitcoin by Jordi Visser.
Okay, let's dive right in. If you're in crypto, I am sure this question has been driving you crazy lately. You know what the mood in crypto right now? It is just brutal. I mean, look around. We're in what should be a perfect environment for risk assets. The S&P is hitting all-time highs, the NASDAQ is on an absolute tear, even gold is breaking out. And then there's Bitcoin. Just stuck, grinding sideways. Kind of boring, right? So yeah, it's creating some serious cognitive dissonance because all the good news we were waiting for, it's here. The ETFs, institutional adoption, it all happened. So what gives? Well, maybe, just maybe, we're looking at this from completely the wrong angle. What if this isn't a sign of weakness at all? What if what we're seeing is actually Bitcoin's silent IPO? And that's the powerful idea from Jordi Visser. Think about it, a silent IPO. The core concept is that for the very first time, the Bitcoin market is finally big enough, mature enough, for those earliest investors, the true pioneers, to actually cash out their massive gains. So this isn't a failure, it's the ultimate sign of success, a huge, necessary transition. Okay, so that's the theory, but is there any actual evidence to back it up? Well, yeah, there is. The whole argument hinges on this idea that the selling isn't weakness, but proof that Bitcoin has finally arrived. So let's dig into what the data is telling us. All right, first up, look at this major shift in the market. For years and years, it was almost a given, right? If you wanted to know where Bitcoin was headed, you just had to watch the NASDAQ. They moved together in lockstep. But since the end of last year, that connection has completely shattered. And a decoupling like that, that's a huge signal that something fundamental, something deep in the market's plumbing has changed. So where's all the selling pressure coming from? Well, the numbers are just staggering. I mean, get this. Mike Novogratz from Galaxy Digital recently confirmed they sold $9 billion worth of Bitcoin, and that wasn't for a fund. It was for a single early investor. Think about that. That's one person creating a massive wall of supply for the market to absorb. And it's not just one anecdote. The on-chain data tells the exact same story. You can literally see old coins, wallets that have been dormant for years, suddenly waking up and moving. But look how they're selling. It's slow, it's methodical, it's not a panic dump. At the same time, the fear and greed index is way down, which tells us retail traders have pretty much given up. This is a quiet, orderly, and very calculated transfer of wealth. So when you put all these pieces together, what you're seeing is a massive changing of the guard. It's a fundamental shift from those early visionaries to the big established institutions. And this is the really crucial point to grasp. What we're seeing right now, it is not a bear market, not at all. A bear market is driven by fear, right? Fundamentals are failing, and nobody wants to buy. Today's market is the exact opposite. It's driven by massive profit-taking from a position of strength. The fundamentals have never been better, and you have patient institutional buyers stepping in to absorb it all. You know, history is full of examples of this exact pattern. It's completely normal. Just look at Amazon after its IPO. It had that huge initial run-up, and then it went totally sideways for about 2 years while the early investors cashed in on their life-changing returns. And Amazon wasn't a one-off. It's the same story with Google. After that big IPO pop, the stock just consolidated, trading sideways for almost 2 full years. Why? Because that's how long it took for ownership to transfer from those early insiders to a much broader, more stable base of investors. And you guessed it, we saw it again with Facebook. The playbook is just so consistent. First, you get the initial surge. Then comes the long, frustrating sideways grind as the market digests all that selling from early investors. And only after that's done do you get the foundation for the next major leg up. So when we look at Bitcoin's chart right now, does that pattern sound just a little bit familiar? It's not broken. It's just following the exact same playbook that every other successful world-changing asset has followed as it matures. And this right here really sums up the whole story. The shift is profound. We are literally watching ownership move from a very small, concentrated group of early believers, the cypherpunks, the visionaries, to a huge distributed base of new holders. We're talking institutions, fiduciaries, the big money. And that change is exactly what's going to make Bitcoin so much more resilient for the long haul. Okay, so if this whole silent IPO thesis holds up, what does that mean for the future? What should we expect to see next? Let's map out the path forward. All right, first and foremost, the key word here is patience. This whole distribution phase could easily last another 6 to 18 months. As ownership spreads out, we should expect the wild volatility to calm down. And once this is all over, yeah, Bitcoin will probably go back to tracking other risk assets, but with a more mature personality. And just a heads up, the positive sentiment, that's probably going to be the last thing to return, likely only after all this selling pressure is finally gone for good. You know, this quote from Jordi Visser just nails it perfectly. Bitcoin's volatility was the price of its birth. Its stability will be the proof of its adulthood. It's brilliant. All those insane price swings, that was the cost of admission. But this new stability that's starting to emerge, that's the proof that Bitcoin is finally growing up. So yeah, Bitcoin's silent IPO. It's not a crisis. It's a quiet, powerful transition that's paving the way for a whole new era. To learn more and stay up to date with the latest in the world of Bitcoin, visit exponentialtom.com and subscribe to the channel.